Amazing. Okay. Find a comfortable seat. Beautiful. Hi. Can you hear me okay? Perfect. Okay. So make sure you have straps. I'm going to make sure that people can just come in and not necessarily be admitted in. And that way we can continue to move through. Let's see. Okay. Okay. For time's sake, we're just going to get started, and we have a few more people signed up, but we'll let them pop in. Okay, perfect. So find a comfortable seat. Take your two blocks and stack them one on top of the other, and then sit on top of them in your Virasana, your hero's pose. That will bring I'm actually going to sit up on one block. The knees together to touch, the blocks between the arches of the feet, and the heart nice and lifted. And you'll just take a few moments just to breathe and arrive. And take a deep breath in and all the way out. And a deep breath in and all the way out. And a deep breath in and all the way out. And then as you're here, you'll allow the sits bones to plug in, the knees to press together, the heart to remain open, the belly to be soft, and let the crown of the head reach upward. And the shoulder blades drop down the back. Begin to notice the sensation, the elements happening in your mind. Getting to know yourself without judgment. So welcome, namaste, happy Tuesday morning. As we get started today, we'll listen to a little reading I have for you. So settle in, close your eyes, and connect to your breath. It's on the topic of enlightenment. It's from a book called The Enlightenment Process by Judith Blackstone. She says, enlightenment is often confused with the peak experiences that many people have. For example, while looking up at stars or witnessing the birth of a baby. But a peak experience, by definition, is a momentary event, often accompanied by intense emotions such as awe or ecstasy. Enlightenment is not a momentary alteration of consciousness that one goes to and returns from. For the same reason, it also differs from the state of hypnotized and the trance state. Enlightenment is a clear, alert, but very subtle perception of the present moment based on a lasting refinement of the consciousness. The practice of refining our consciousness is deeply connected to the practice of refining what it is to be a yogi. Quite often it becomes really sort of challenging to discern the physical practice from the collective practice. We know that yoga is not just asana, it's not just the movement, right? It's the breath, right? It's the refinement through the yamas and the niyamas. It's the meditation. It's the moving inward. It's the conscious work to get us to that deeper place, which we know as samadhi, right? That place of elevation, right? That comes from a disconnect from our bodies. Today's practice is here to bring you back to that consciousness, to that connection to self, so that the self dissipates. And from that dissipation, we develop that perception, that subtle perception in the present moment. And so popular right now are the use of things outside of us to achieve these momentary events, right? We look to psychedelics, we look to sound, right? We look to other people to help us develop what we think is enlightenment. But that subtle perception exists inside of us. And that's why the practice of yoga was created, and that's why we're here today. Keep the eyes closed for just a few more breaths. Take a huge breath in through your nose. Soft breath out through your mouth. Let the shoulder blades sink lovingly down the back, giving your heart quite a bit more support. And then the support of the heart, the shoulder collarbones widen just a bit. And this moment of stillness, this last moment of stillness before we tap into what's true. Just see if you can listen. Listen to the subtle sounds and sensations of your physical being. Digesting that information. Even if you can't quite understand it. Being so patient with yourself in the process that you know it will come in time. Take a deep breath in, all the way out. Keep your eyes closed, reach your arms wide, and then all the way up towards the sky. Find the shape of a V, your thumbs turned around backwards, your fingers extended, your shoulders dropping away from your back. Through your nose, breathe in just about halfway. Kapalabhati, begin to exhale, exhale. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Take a huge breath in. Fill up to the top and hold. Feel the fingers extending upward. Drop the shoulders away from the ears like your bones and your arms could expand top to bottom. Stay full. Slowly release. Reach your arms wide and all the way down by your hips. Reach your arms forward and all the way up towards the sky. Find a prayer, slide it down towards your heart. Interlace your fingers, flip your palms forward and extend the arms towards the front. And then reach the arms all the way up so the heels of the hands crawl towards the ceiling. Let your biceps continue to hug your skull. And let your tailbone continue to reach down and back slightly. And keep your eyes so closed that you notice where you are, even without the vision that we're so accustomed to. Pull the fronts of the ribs in. Let the crown of the head stretch upward. Imagine an invisible line that reaches from the crown of the head to the heavens like an antenna. The top of the antenna, which is arguably endless, travels back through the crown of the head, through the skull, bypassing the brain, through the throat, passing the lungs, piercing through the intestines, and out through the perineum so that you're rooted and connected to the earth. In this root, reach your palms up a little bit higher. Lift your perineum for Mula Bandha. Pull your belly button back for Uddiyana Bandha. Drop your chin in towards your throat for Jaladhara Bandha. Stay here. Find freedom in your inhale. Reach your arms wide. And on your exhale, hands come all the way down by your hips. And then right away, crawl your way onto all fours. You'll take your blocks, and you'll place them off towards the side. And you'll spread your fingers really wide, index finger and thumb pressing down into the floor, and eyes of the elbows swivel forward, tops of the feet stay grounded, and then open up the chest, look up and breathe in. Curl the spine, look in and breathe out. Open up the heart, look up and breathe in. Curl the spine, look in and breathe out. And then do this a few times on your own so that you're folding and unfolding through your spine. And what you're really doing is you're finding the body's natural inclination to move like a wave. And what this does is it honors our connection to the element of water, which flows through us in different forms. And most importantly, now in the wake of the morning, right, it lubricates our bones and our joints. In the back, the spine is so interesting in the morning because as we sleep, the sacs that exist between each of the bones of the vertebra begin to absorb the fluid of the spine. And so they get really puffy. And as we move throughout our day, our waking day, right, we begin to really lubricate and release that fluid. And then we're more mobile. And keep the breath deep. Good. Find stillness, look directly forward, pull your belly up, take the right arm, stretch it towards the front and cycle it all the way towards the sky. Look straight up on the breath in. Make sure the eye of the left elbow is swiveled forward. And then as you breathe out, thread your right arm underneath. Let the right side of your face rest on the mat. And then take your left arm and extend it all the way forward. And then notice your left arm. If the armpit is sort of gazing or turned towards the side, see if you can tilt and revolve your left armpit down towards the mat. And in doing so, you get more stretch through the right delt. And then you just breathe, allowing the body to speak to you through sensation. And then allow the left hand to land gracefully underneath the left shoulder and the right arm to reach all the way back up towards the sky. Open up your heart, look up as you breathe in, and then right arm reaches forward, right hand comes down to the mat as you breathe out. Open up your chest, look up and breathe in. Sit it back for child's pose as you breathe out. As you grace the mat with your forehead, walk your hands over to the left. So the right side of your body expands. And then crawl your hands back round to the front. Curl forward onto hands and knees. Tops of the feet stay down. Take the left arm, reach it all the way up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in, and then thread the needle, left arm underneath. Left side of the face to the floor. Right arm extends all the way forward. Right armpit is dialed down. And just breathe. And the slowness of the breath, notice. And then allow your right hand to come underneath your right shoulder. Press into the floor to lengthen your right arm. Reach your left arm back up towards the sky. Take a deep breath in. Let the left hand come forward and down as you breathe out. Look in front of you, open up your heart, eyes at the elbows turned forward. Tuck your toes and send your hips rising for downward facing dog. And then right here, you drop your head immediately. And in the dropping of the head, you get the release of your cervical spine, the ease in the lumbar spine, the depth of your breath. Index finger presses down, palm hollows out, Hasta Bandha. Pull the rib cage in, breathe more freely. Deep breath in. Flutter it out through your lips. Lift your heels up on the breath in. Bend your knees on the breath out. Look in front of you. Move your body forward into a plank as you breathe in. Drop your knees down. Keep your toes tucked. Tuck toe child's pose as you breathe out. Lift your vision. Look in front of you. See your potential. Come back into plank pose, moving towards it as you breathe in. Send it back into your stability for your downward facing dog. Now, take the right knee, pull it directly in towards your nose, and curl your spine. Have a moment just to pause here and breathe. And then it's three-legged down dog. Right leg rises up towards the ceiling. Open up your right hip. Keep the bend of the right knee as you stack. Now, pull the right armpit back a little bit so that it's moving towards the back right hand edge of your mat. Circle the right knee around once, twice, and then 3 times. And then bring your right shin forward for an early pigeon. So we're heading directly into the hips, navel in towards the spine. Stack your shoulders, fingerprints down, top of the left foot on the floor. Open up your chest, gaze forward. Feel the internal rotation of the left leg. And then walk your hands wide so they step off the mat. Peel your chest open, look forward and up, and then arch as you begin to fold over your right shin. Now in the fold, you can extend your arms forward. This is early for our bodies, so feel it. Right, become very present with yourself. And the enlightenment process is said to come in phases. Right, there's sort of 3 phases to the enlightenment process. The first is that deep, greater sense of self-awareness. And the second phase is the most challenging phase. And in Zen Buddhism, it's often compared to climbing a mountain, where you reach what you think is the peak, and then you realize there's more mountain to go. But you sort of arrive at base camp and base camp to base camp, until eventually you find the top. And those little peaks, those mini peaks, those not quite there peaks are our obstacles. They are our karma that we continue to move through. And that's where the refining really begins. Walk your hands beneath your shoulders. Press your heart back up. 3-legged down dog. Reach the right leg all the way up towards the sky. Take a huge breath in. And then step the right foot forward between your hands. Drop the back knee, crescent lunge. Reach the arms all the way up towards the sky. If you can, pray your hands above you. Let the prayer rocket up towards the ceiling. And then dial the right glute back, the left hip forward, the head drops so you can see your prayer. Hands come forward and down to frame your front foot. Use your blocks as you walk them forward on the highest height. Warrior 3, tuck your back toes under, stay supported as you pick up your back leg. The left glute is engaged. The left outer hip dials down. Look forward so you stretch your heart to align with your hips as you breathe. Step your left foot to meet your right. Fold over yourself, feet land, hips width distance apart. You can free yourself from the blocks, but keep them close by. Drop your head as you breathe. Take your peace fingers if you like this early and grab your big toes. If it feels like too much, then just allow your body to hang. And perhaps there's a gentle bend of your knees. There's a sweet stretch of the back of the thigh. Press into your feet, stretch your beautiful heart forward, and then look forward. Exhale, press into your feet and fold. Hands come down to the ground. Step your right foot back when you're ready. Downward facing dog, hips rise. Deep breath in, feel the arms rotate to the bends of the elbows, look forward. Exhale completely. Move forward and strong into plank, breathe in. Keep the toes tucked, drop the knees down, tuck-toed, child's pose as you breathe out. Lift your eyes, see in front of you, move into plank, breathe in. Lower down to the ground, breathe out. Pick up your heart cobra, breathe in, keep it low in your cobra. Try to walk your feet a little bit closer together to touch. Exhale, dissolve back down to the ground. Downward facing dog, hips rise. Left knee comes in towards your nose, curl your spine, just have a moment to hold in this strength. And then fly it back, three-legged down dog. Keep the bend of the left knee and open up the left hip, stack. Now notice if the left shoulder is sort of lifting and crowding the ear, dial it towards the back of the mat. More pressure and activation in the right hand is needed. Circle the left leg once, twice, 3 times. Bring your left shin forward behind your hands, pigeon pose. As you dial your right hip forward and turn your left hip back a little bit, walk your fingerprints wide of the mat, crawl your right leg more central to the body, and then see if you can turn the right hip crease down a little bit so that you're a bit more balanced than we're probably used to. And then open up the chest, look up, feel the expansion of the front body. And then as you breathe out, dissolve forward and down over your leg. Deep breath in, complete breath out. Deep breath in and complete breath out. Having a moment to just listen. Pigeon poses early in the morning can be intense and gnarly, but there's so much grace in that effort. When you're ready, walk your hands down underneath your shoulders. Pick up your heart and shine it forward. Three-legged down dog. Stretch the left leg all the way back towards the sky. Get long as you breathe in. Pull your left knee forward, step it lightly between your hands. Drop your back knee, hug the hips towards the central line, and then reach the arms all the way out and up towards the sky. Feel that lift as you expand through your chest. Prayer if you can, and then let the prayer lift the sternum, the heart space towards the sky. Keep pressing down through the sole of the left foot and the top of the right foot as you breathe. When you're ready, reach your hands forward and down to frame your front foot. Tuck your back toes under. Walk your hands forward, warrior 3 supported. Place your palms on your blocks. Bend your standing legs so much. Close the outer right hip. Pull the inner legs toward one another and then look forward. Breathe. Pull your right knee in towards your heart, step your foot between your hands, standing forward bend. Free yourselves from the blocks, keep them close by, drop your skull completely. Take your peace fingers if you like, grab your big toes, stretch your heart forward as you breathe in, and then dive a little bit more deeply, folding into yourself as you breathe out. Lengthen, look directly forward. Fingerprints are free and on the mat. Step your left foot back. Downward facing dog, hips up. Plank pose, breathe in. This time lower all the way down if you're ready on the breath out. Raise your heart, cobra pose, breathe in. Downward facing as you breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. Right knee in towards your nose, breathe in. Fly it up and back, three-legged dog, breathe out. Pigeon pose, shin behind the wrist. Slide your left leg back, even it out. Look back at it. Make sure it's central. Walk your fingerprints wide. Open up your chest. Come forward and down. Feel the hips. Notice where you resist. Get to know yourself and all of your subtleties. Press into your palms, look forward. Three-legged down dog. Reach the right leg back up towards the sky. Step it forward, land it between your hands. Drop your back knee. Prayer reaches up towards the ceiling. Look up and breathe in. Hands forward, support at warrior three. As you breathe out, big bend of the right knee. Anchor through your palms. Close your outer hip. Lift your back leg, look forward. Step to fold, feet land, hips width distance apart. Drop your head, close your eyes. Lengthen your spine, look directly forward. Step your right foot back. Downward facing dog. Plank pose, breathe in. Lower down, breathe out. Upward facing dog, untuck the toes, pick up your heart, electrify the legs, and look up. And then downward facing dog, roll over your feet, good, and send your hips to the sky. Left knee in towards your chest, breathe in. Fly it back, three-legged down dog, breathe out. Glide it forward, pigeon pose. Scoot your back leg back, even out your hips, right? Measure up, feel your body align, and then dissolve, lengthening through the front as you come down. Press into your palms. We're only here for a moment. Look forward. Fly it back, three-legged down dog. Stretch up towards the sky. Step it forward. Drop your back knee. Hug the hips in. Arms circle up into that beautiful prayer that lifts you. Hands come forward and down. Tuck your back toes under. Launch yourself into warrior three supported. Big bend, huge bend of the standing leg. Yeah. Good. Stretch the collarbones wide. Look directly in front of you. Press into the palms. Right foot joins the left. Standing forward bend. Grab your ankles if you have the space. Pull your chest in. Drop your head. Deep fold. Inhale. Lengthen spine. Look in front. Step your left foot back. Downward facing. Plank. Lower halfway down if you're ready. Chaturanga. Raise your heart, upward facing dog. Send your hips back into downward facing dog. Breathe in completely. Exhale, let it go. And then it's a slow walk to the top of the mat. Right foot and then left foot. Your feet will meet your hands and you'll arrive in a standing forward fold. Grab your big toes, flat back, look in front. Exhale, drop your head. Bend your knees, press into your feet, round your spine as you stand. Good, mountain pose. Crown stretches upward, Tadasana. And here you just breathe. Deep breath in and deep breath out. And come back to that enlightenment process in you. As you stand in stillness, where in this process are you? Are you still at phase one, digesting who you are and where you are and how that affects the world outside of you? Becoming increasingly aware of the world that exists inside of you? Or are you beginning to climb the mountain? Overcoming obstacles, self-made, perhaps in this lifetime or lifetimes past. Reach your arms out and all the way up towards the sky. Look up as you breathe in, high prayer, Urdhva Hastasana. Take that prayer, let it drive you through a forward fold, Uttanasana. Stay with me. Your right foot steps back for a low lunge. Downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Plank pose, come forward. Chaturanga as you breathe out. Upward facing dog, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Right leg rises, breathe in. Listen, step it forward on the breath out. Right arm rises for a twist when you get there. Wide straddle, so reach the right arm high for a twist. Yeah, and then wide straddle walks you through to the back of the mat for a low lunge. Step the right foot beside the left, forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, arms carry you up, high prayer, Urdhva Hastasana. Prayer moves down towards your heart, Tadasana. Prayer rises, Urdhva Hastasana, breathe in. Pull it through and forward fold, Uttanasana as you breathe out. Right foot steps back as you breathe in. Downward facing as you breathe out. Plank as you breathe in. Chaturanga as you breathe out. Upward facing as you breathe in. Downward facing as you breathe out. Right leg rises as you breathe in. Step it forward as you breathe out. Right arm rises, you twist in breath. Walk through wide straddle to the top of the mat, find low lunge. Step your right foot beside your left and fold. Inhale all the way up, high prayer. Exhale, prayer to heart. Inhale, arms up, high prayer. Exhale, fully fold. Left foot steps back, breathe in. Downward facing, breathe out. Plank, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward facing, breathe in. And then downward facing, breathe out. Left leg rises, breathe in. Step it forward, breathe out. Left arm rises, find your twist. Wide straddle moves you through to the back of the mat. Left foot joins the right, standing forward fold. Inhale, stand up, arms up, look up. Exhale, prayer to heart. Inhale, prayer up. Exhale, deep fold. Step your left foot back, breathe in. Downward facing, breathe out. Plank, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward dog, breathe in. And then downward facing on the breath out. Left leg up, breathe in. Step it forward, breathe out. Left arm high, you twist. Wide straddle takes you to the top of the mat. Step your left foot beside your right, standing forward fold. Inhale, stand up, look up, breathe in. Prayer moves to heart, breathe out. Prayer rises, breathe in. Fold, breathe out. Lengthen, breathe in. Hop or step it back, Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward facing, yes. Downward facing, hips pull you back. Stay here, breathe, inhale for one. Inhale for two. Moving through your Ujjayi Pranayama. In for three. Breath for four. And breath for five. Take a deep breath in and all the way out. Right knee in towards your nose, breathe in. Fly it high, three-legged down dog, breathe out. Step it forward, warrior two. Open up your heart as you cartwheel your arms open. Expand through your chest, drop your tailbone, and allow your right knee to stack directly over your right ankle. Look at your right foot. Just take a look at it. Notice where your right big toe is. Good. Make sure it feels directional. And then press into the ball of the right foot. Press into the pinky knuckle of the right foot. Press into the heel of the right foot and then drop the tailbone. Look past the right middle finger, anchor through the left pinky edge of the foot, hollow out through the arch of the left foot. Drop the left arm, tip it back, find a peaceful warrior, expand through the side body, look up. Reach your right arm forward, pull the belly back. Allow the right rib cage to align with the right thigh, and then allow the right hand to come to block or to floor as the left arm reaches up. Now this is your side angle pose to start, okay? And as you're here, the left arm will stretch over the left ear. You'll turn the left ribs up towards the sky, and then you'll find a subtle back bend leaning into the right leg. Push your right knee into your shoulder as you scoop the right hip underneath. Good. Keep a nice juicy bend of the right knee as you breathe. Left arm reaches over left ear. Left hand comes down to the ground. It's a high lizard. Come onto the ball of the back foot. Soften through the pubic bone so the right knee grazes the right shoulder. Nice and deep as you look in front of you. Deep breath in. Good. Deep breath out. Step into plank or three-legged plank, and then it's your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and then exhale it back, downward facing. Left knee in towards your nose, curl the spine. Three-legged dog, left leg reaches up. Step it forward, warrior two. Pivot the back heel down, swim the arms open. You cartwheel the arms open because you want to get a lot more mobility in the shoulders. And come back to the alignment. So start at your root, right? Your first chakra. You're setting up, right? You're setting up through the feet. So press through the knuckle, the ball of the left foot, the pinky knuckle of the left foot, the heel of the left foot. And then the center of the left foot is lifted and engaged. Stack your knee over your ankle, cup the floor with your right foot. Look past your left middle finger, breathe. Tip it back, find a peaceful warrior. Wash the left arm over the ear. Embrace the opening it through the left side body. And then stretch it forward. Left hand lands down to the ground. It aligns heel of hand and heel of foot. And then from that alignment, you get that connection, right? That automatic connection of left arm into leg and vice versa. The right arm first begins to shine and expand upward. Curve the right hip towards the right earlobe. So your hips, if you could think, are more like east and west or 3 and 9 o'clock. And then the twist, the revolution comes from the rib cage, right? And you're beginning now to rinse out the lungs, to squeegee through the kidneys. And then from there, from that opening, from that safe space, the right arm will track over the right ear. And then here you find the subtle back bend. Breathe. Right hand floats down to the ground, pivot onto the ball of your right foot, soften your pubic bone so you get into your inner thighs, and it's your high lizard. Anchor through your knuckles, step back into plank or floating plank, and then it's your flow chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing, nice and strong, and then exhale, send it back, downward facing. Deep breath in, drop your skull completely. Full breath out. Right knee in towards your nose, curl your spine. Three-legged down dog, right leg rises. Step it forward. Warrior two. Open up big. Feel the expansion of your heart. Breathe. Align yourself, make the subtle changes you need in your body. Tip it back, find peace. Right arm reaches over the ear. And then from there, belly to spine, as you stretch forward, reach forward, land the right hand down to the ground, left arm reaches up. Left arm stretches over your ear. Bring your right palm bending at the elbow to your left thigh, right? So if right palm is on the ground or a block, you keep that contact of tricep and leg, but you bend at the elbow, leverage against the right inner thigh and let the right palm land at your left leg. And then you just twist the heart open. Beautiful as you breathe. Listen, left arm washes over your face, wide straddle. Wide straddle is a journey to the back of the mat. High lizard at the back of the mat, huge bend of the left knee, palms underneath your shoulders. Squeeze your left leg in towards your shoulder, hug and engage through the inner thighs as you look forward and breathe. Listen, it's different and we're facing the back of the mat. You're gonna find a squat, malasana. So step your right foot wide of your right pinky finger. Subtly turn the toes out as the heels point towards the center, prayer at your heart, and then look forward. Stretch the heart forward, lift the crown of the head, breathe. Press into both feet and rise. Arms reach up towards the sky. Right away, pull the right knee in towards your chest, hands stay lifted. Flex your right foot. Again, this is different. We're at the back of the mat, so stay with me. You're gonna figure four your right ankle across your left knee, and then find a figure four chair pose. As you soften the buttocks back, as you lengthen through the spine, as you allow the tailbone to be directional towards the top edge of the mat, you'll feel the deep opening of the piriformis. Breathe. Pull the right knee up, step it back, low lunge, hands down to the ground. Downward facing dog, hips high, you're facing the back of the mat. Move your body forward, find plank, breathe in, lower halfway down, chaturanga. Raise your heart, upward facing dog, breathe in, send your hips rising, down dog. Left knee in towards your nose, breathe in. Three-legged down dog, left leg up towards the sky. Step it forward, warrior two. Left arm is leading, self-correct. Look forward, breathe deeply. Tilt it backward, find a peaceful warrior. Awaken the left side. Stretch forward, get long, left hand down to the ground. And then here, just like before, you're unclogging the lungs. You're rinsing through the kidneys. So you'll bend at the left elbow, you'll allow the right hand to find, the left hand to find the right leg. And then you'll begin to wash and open up through the right lung. Squeeze and engage, activate the right leg. Hold and breathe. Wash the right arm in front of your face, let it carry you through wide straddle. Let that wide straddle turn you to the back or to the top of the mat. And then you're in your high lizard, huge bend of the right knee. Knee crowds the shoulder, connect to yourself. Stretch your beautiful heart forward. Breathe. Step to squat. Land the left foot wide. Prayer at your beautiful heart. Heels in, toes out. Leverage self, look forward. Press into your feet, inhale, rise, arms up. Figure four, the left ankle across the right knee. Push your butt bones back. Feel the opening in the hip. Deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Take that left leg, float it back, low lunge. Hands down to the ground. Downward facing, hips up. Plank pose, breathe in. Chaturanga, breathe out. Upward facing, breath in. Downward facing, breath out. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Right knee in towards your chest. Pause, hold. Three-legged down dog, right leg up towards the sky. Step it forward. Warrior two. Open up big. Expand your heart. Tip it back, peace. Breathe in. Side angle, right hand down to the ground. Breathe out. Left arm reaches over your head, get long. Take that left arm, circle it towards the back body for a half bind, right? Connect to yourself, leverage against yourself. And then if you like, the right hand can land on the left leg, or you can snake it underneath for a full bind. Breathe. Beautiful. Deep breath in, look up if you can. Full breath out. Lengthen out through your right leg a little or a lot, right? It's a play on triangle, it doesn't have to be full triangle. And then re-bend the right knee. Free your hands, left arm overhead. Move through the middle, wide straddle. Face the back of the mat, boomerang pose. Pivot onto the jackknife edge of the right foot, left hand beside the left hip. Left arm reaches overhead. Pick up the side body as you press into the floor. Strong right leg, move through the middle, wide straddle. To the front, warrior three. Hands down to the ground. Look in front, big bend of the right knee. Squeeze your outer hips in. And then step your left foot to the top, standing forward fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Arms up, look up. Find a prayer, move it down towards your heart. Chair pose, breathe in, sit low. Prayer rises. Pull the front of the ribs in, tuck the tailbone under. Prayer moves down towards your heart. Leverage outside of the right knee for a twist. Now, right palm presses into bottom to help you revolve your heart. And then just keep dialing the left hip back so you find a more neutral pelvis. Look up. Come back through the center, chair pose. Stand up, stand tall, mountain pose. Arms up on the breath in. Diver's pose, swing the arms back, balance on the balls of the feet, hinge forward. Bakasana crow pose, hands forward of your shoulders, bend at the elbows, knees fit into triceps, shift forward and find the weight on the palms of the hands as you curl up through your spine and press into the floor, looking directly in front of you. Breathe. Chaturanga on the breath out. Beautiful, down dog, hips back. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Last time, left knee in towards your chest. Three-legged down dog, left leg up towards the sky. Step it forward. Warrior two. Last time, super strong. Tip it back, find peace. Stretch it forward. Side angle pose. Right arm tracks over the ear to start. Bend at your left elbow, left palm to right leg. Right arm wraps behind the back. Have a moment in your half bind. Stay here or bring it into a full bind. Look up if you can. Find the spirals in the shape. Breathe into your own evolution. This evolution brings you closer to enlightenment. Lengthen through the left leg a little or a lot. Press into the ball mound of the left foot. Rebend the left knee. Free your hands, left hand down, right arm up, right arm overhead. Walk through wide straddle. Pivot round to the top of the mat. Boomerang, or I'm sorry, to the back of the mat for boomerang pose. Yeah. Right arm overhead, pick up the side body. Wash yourself back through the middle towards the front, warrior three. Without your blocks, hands on the floor, bend your left leg, stretch your heart forward. Zip your thighs closer toward one another, and then use your right hamstring to help you get that lift. Forward fold, drop your beautiful head, get deep as you connect to who you are. Inhale, rise, arms all the way up. Exhale, prayer to heart, mountain pose. Chair pose, breathe in. Prayer to heart, right elbow twists outside the left leg. Look towards the left shoulder, revolve your heart, breathe. Chair pose. Rise, stand tall, mountain pose. Arms forward and up, breathe in. Diver's pose, breathe out. Teeter over the edge, you know what's coming. If you like in your diver's pose, interlace your hands, make a single fist. Bring the shoulder blades closer together. Then bend at the knees, free the arms, set them forward, crow pose. Balance on your hands. Fit your heels in towards your butt. And then chaturanga when you're ready. Upward facing, deep breath in. Good, downward facing on the breath out. Deep inhale, full breath out. Drop your knees to the ground. Widen the arches of the feet. And then soften into hero's pose, Virasana. So you allow the hips to land right between the arches of the feet. If that feels like if it feels too crazy, then you can place a block underneath your butt. Okay, otherwise, sit up tall, take the arms, reach them out and up. Bring the prayer down towards your heart. Interlace your hands, flip the interlaced palms forward, and then reach the interlaced palms up. Feel that line traveling through the crown of the head, up to the heavens, into the collective consciousness, into what brings us all together. And from that quantum field, back through the skull, meeting through the brain, grazing the throat, brushing past the heart, moving through the intestines and the colon, out through the center of your being and connecting you to the material world. And this invisible line, this plumb line, is what you move on when you're aligned. And that alignment brings awareness, brings refinement, brings enlightenment. Take a deep breath in. Stick out your tongue, lion's breath. Free your hands, reach them wide and down by your side. And then you're going to fold forward into child's pose. So bring the heels of the feet a little bit closer together so the knees are not wide, they're sort of aligned with your armpits. And then you'll drop your head down and you'll just breathe. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Hands down to the ground. Pick up your heart. Look in front. Sit your hips towards the left. Sweep your legs to the right. And then come to lay on your spine. Big toes come together to touch. Grab the backs of your thighs and curl down. The descent right here gives you the connection to the pelvis. Have a moment to place your two palms on each of your pelvic bones. And then from there, arch your back. So keep the hips glued to the ground. but arch the spine like you were coming into a cow pose. And then curl the spine like you were coming into cat pose. So keep doing this a few times, and this articulation gives you the mobility of your pelvis. It also allows you to find ways with which to stabilize. You know, our pelvis is connected to our first and second chakras, right? And that's our ability to connect to ourselves, to emote, to be aware of our emotions, to move through. It's our connection to ourself at a base level, our ability to provide for ourselves at a base level, to connect to our community, our foundation, our tribe, and our own personal boundaries. Last time, I'll open up the hips as the tailbone dips down. Curl the spine. Keep the spine curled. So keep the entire lumbar pressing against the floor. Let your hands come down to the mat, to the outside of your hips. Walk your heels in slightly so that they are just a few inches from your sits bones. And then press down gently into the feet as you lift the hips, using the glutes and the hamstrings to support for your bridge. And you'll just shimmy your arms closer and toward one another as you breathe. Deep breath in, full breath out. If you like the sensation of almost the flossing of the shoulder blades, walk your palms closer together, interlace your hands, press your triceps down, and lift your hips a little bit higher. Exhale to dissolve, free the hands, upper spine, middle spine, and low spine. Hands come back to the creases of the hips. Take one full breath in and one complete breath out. Coming back into it, press down into the hands and the feet as you curl your spine. Push through the hips and lift into bridge. And if you'd like, palms come down, framing your ears. Press up into full wheel. Now, from your full wheel, make sure that you can press evenly into the hands and there's no bend of the elbows. If there is, then your shoulders are not quite open enough for it. Squeeze through your glutes, stretch the heart forward. Breathe. And then slowly lower down, bending at the elbows. Let the base of the skull kiss the mat. Descend upper spine, middle spine, and lower spine. Breathe in completely. Breathe out completely. Deep breath in. Lion's breath. Sway your legs gently from side to side. Open up the arms really wide. Reach your right leg up towards the sky. Figure four the right ankle across the left knee. Push your left knee in towards your right ankle. You can interlace your hands through the keyhole and grab the left thigh. Or if you feel ready, because we did a few pigeons at the beginning, you can come into supine pigeon, interlace your hands around the right shin, get a good little grip on yourself, and then let the left leg drop and be heavy. Deep breath in and all the way out. Slip your hands to the outer blade of the right foot. Let the right knee come towards the right armpit. It's like a half happy baby, and that left leg can be long. And drop the left thigh down to the floor and let the back of the left thigh try and find the earth as the sole of the right foot steps on the ceiling. Breathe. And then take that right knee, bring it across the body for a twist. You can keep the knee bent if you'd like, or you can extend the leg. I love a little leg extension here as I revolve on the axis of my being. These twists are yummy because they help us wring out, right, the old, stale, stuck stuff. The old, stale, stuck stuff, it clogs our vision and our ability to decipher what's real, what's true. And from that muddier vision, we'll struggle moving through our experiences and perhaps then imprint those past experiences on new ones, creating this cycle of samsara. Bend the right knee, bring it back to your center, right foot down to the floor, left foot up, figure four. You can float the right foot off the mat. You can embrace the right leg, or you can embrace the left shin for your supine pigeon. And these cycles are dangerous because they keep us in pain. And from that pain, we recreate and perhaps create altogether new karma. And if it isn't good, it isn't the karma that we want, it isn't the karma of joy and of love, but it's the karma of pain and of fear. And all that becomes what inhibits us from really seeing first who we truly are. And second, taking that knowledge and using that to help us surpass our obstacles. Grab the outer blade of the left foot, left knee tracks towards the left shoulder, right leg remains long. Breathe. When you're ready, left foot, left knee comes across the body, and you're just in a twist. And for me, I like to get a little extension in that front leg, but it's up to you. And we're trapped in those cycles. It becomes impossible to decipher these moments, these awe-inspiring moments that we equate with enlightenment from what's real. We begin to chase those moments. And in turn, we stop seeking our truth. Rebend the left knee, bring it towards the center. Your whole spine is on the mat. And then pull both knees in towards center. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. When you're ready, left leg extends long, right leg extends long. Feet are slightly wider than hips width, perhaps even max width. You fold the shoulder blades underneath you to let the palms face up. And here you lie for your Shavasana. Be here for as long as you like, hopefully 3 to 5 minutes, maybe even more if you're feeling super crazy. And I'll see you next time. Namaste.